Alrighty, doing window gusset replacement on a 2004 Subaru Forester. The window gussets are these little triangle shaped things right here. If you have a Forester or an Outback made between the years 2003 and 2006, you may notice whistling coming from the windows. You can start as low as 30 miles an hour. You'll definitely hear it once you get up to about 50. The reason is after a couple years of use, these things tend to kind of get stretched out, lose their grip. In some cases they even rip or tear. Mine actually has some metal poking through right there. So that's bad. In the case of the Outback, Subaru actually issued a technical bulletin on that. They never did for the Forester. And since it's not 2012, cars aren't covered under warranty anymore, so if you have this issue, you're going to have to get the gussets replaced and pay out of pocket. The dealer will probably charge an hour or two labor, which obviously is going to cost you. The repair, though, is not that difficult to do. You can pretty much do it yourself in about 20 minutes per side and save yourself some cash. So what you'll need to do it, standard Phillips head screwdriver, a socket wrench, have a ratcheting one. You don't really need that, but the important thing is to have some type of extension and a 10mm end. If you don't have metric, 3/32 will also work. It's a little loose, but close enough. A couple little flathead screwdrivers, and that's just to pop trim out. Little flashlight's good, little grease is good. These last two are optional though, you don't really need them. And then of course the new gusset. This runs about 65 bucks online. So, let's get started. So the first step in all this is to pop this thing out. There's a little tab right down there. Remove the tab, and there's a Phillips head screw beneath it. Now you can go ahead and pop out this whole assembly. Start by lifting on it, and then put that flathead screwdriver kind of right in the middle, and there it is. Go ahead and disconnect the electric plugs. The little tabs are right here in the middle. Boink. Boink. Next, remove this plastic trim around the handle. Let's start in the center. There's a tab right about here. There it is. And once you get that loose, work your way around on the other side. And there it is. Okay, you can go ahead and remove your tweeter cover, which is this thing right here. This comes off without even any tools. Tweeter's below that. I'll just leave that in place for now. Next step is to go ahead, and this is the fun part, just pop out the whole door. So surprisingly, you just pull this thing out from the bottom, lift it up a little, and it should come right off. Kind of like an emergency exit in an airplane. Not that I've ever used one, thankfully. But anyway, there's an indentation down here. You'll be able to feel it. Reach your finger around, grab that, and yank pretty hard. Move your hand up, do it again, and then just lift. And there's your door. Okay, we can go ahead and pull off the tweeter. And also go ahead and this green cable coming down, unplug that. Okay, we'll do the screws first. It's up here. There's 3 screws here, here, and here. These two are covered by plastic tabs, so obviously you can take those plastic tabs off. And then get the screws out. And it's very easy to drop these. If you do, it's not a huge deal, but because you'll be able to retrieve them later by removing the speaker, but try to save yourself that trouble. It's kind of like a game of operation. Ooh. See? No mayo means extra mayo. Anyway, we'll get back to that one. And at this point, you can remove your mirror. Set that aside. Now for the bolts holding the actual window gusset in, there's 3 bolts and then 1 nut. The nut is down there, and the bolts are here, here, and here. There's the nut. And go for the bolts. Okay. I gotta retrieve that screw later, but what you do here is push on that little tab that's poking through. And as you're doing that, just pull up. And this whole thing should come out. Ooh. There it is. And so if you look at the parts side by side, you can really see the difference there. Now you're ready to put the new one in. So pretty much just put this back down. Kind of wiggle it in. Look for that tab poking through. There it is. Get your bolts lined up, put the screws and everything back in the reverse order, and you'll be good to go with a much quieter ride.